All right, Jose. Another AI related video. Basically, we're going to be using the phone recognizer from Azure. And basically the steps are you come to Azure, your Azure portal, create a new document intelligence. It was called before a phone recognizer. That's really useful for things like receipts, invoice. So I don't know if you remember in the past, we did an application for a FedEx contractor and they have a huge amount of vehicle and they need to track their gas expenses. So every time their driver go to a gas station, they need to put gas on their truck and then take a picture of the receipt and that will be get uploaded to the cloud. In that time, we did some OCR and we did some other things and it was a decent project. Right now, Phone Recognizer does everything for us and you will see how easy it is. So you create your resource, basically resource group, region, the name of the Phone Recognizer. If you're going to do it, you see, I only have the choice to do a standard here. That is a paid, but that's because I already have a free one. And a free one allows you to do a certain amount of calls a month, a minute, and so forth. So I have here the other version. And you see pricing tier free. And I don't recall right now how much do you have, but you have enough to test as much as you want. Right here, then you will have to take your endpoint at a gig. So with that in place, we come to our project. And right here, we create our actual phone recognize service. And right here, we're going to actually do the recognition of the receipt or the invoice or anything you want. And basically, you create the actual credential, and then you create the phone recognizer client, and then you pass the byte array from the file data, and then you do everything you need. But if you see, it's just a little bit of code, nothing crazy. Right here, we are going to have our receipt controller then. And then here you're going to see that we're passing the current object receipt image that is going to be basically a file data. Let's take a look quickly at the application running, and I can actually see receipt item that we're going to have or by array right here, receipt image. So if we run it, let's see it in action. You will see that just with a few lines of code, we're going to be able to.
I guess you have to define the map also where you want to save it, right? Because it will extract the text and put it in some.
Exactly. And we can actually see here in our controller that after we recognize the content, you get a result, but that result, then you're going to have to start mapping it to your actual field, like your actual business object. But that's it, real simple. And if we go now, and let's create a new receipt. Let's get one of receipt that I have here that I got from the internet. If you see right here, it's 8480, and you have a couple Lauren Ipswich products, order details. So, and we're gonna click receipt data. That will go to our phone recognizer in Azure. And if you see, we got receipt total or subtotal or tags, when was the order right here, because we don't have a merchant didn't bring it, but if you have a merchant bring it and everything that it was on that order, all these items with all the cost that it was.
That's beautiful. There is no other way to describe it, especially because the code is so small that
simple.
Yeah, and you know that you always will have the latest version if you use an API, because Microsoft is working in the backend to provide more accurate models all the time. So in the end, it's like, well, sometimes as developers, we want to do everything ourselves. I have done something like this like 10 years ago with OpenCV in C++. You should see the code for that and the DLLs that you need to reference, and it takes more time to compile than to write the
And
code.
let me tell you, like we did that OCR, if you remember, for that project that we talked at the beginning. Like not, I won't say not to, but a lot of receipts are different. So you go to one place, the receipts, you have one way of doing it. In another place, the receipt have another format. Then you have to be doing the OCR and you have to be mapping. It's a lot of work. right now, the Azure model, the form recognizer, is trained with I don't know how many millions, I don't know, of receipts or invoices or documents. So you can take care of advantage of that. And it's cost effective. So I definitely would say, hey, this is a really nice solution. Go for it. Start using everything that the AI world is providing to you, especially if they give it to you as easy as this, and keep moving forward to the next project and give value to your customers.
Yeah, I think this is the way to go, because to do it like manually, just to do the setup of the environment, it will take forever. And the next time you need to release, it will take forever again. So time is money. It's easier to pay something like this that it will be always up to date and have more value, because it's more up to date in the training data. So
yeah, and they give you a lot of calls for free, and then the other calls are really cheap. So if you are having to pay a lot of money for these calls, it's because you have a huge user base, and that's a good problem to have. So, all right, guys, that will be all for this video. Let's not make it too big. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.